Some games are just games. Pac-Man is just a game where you eat white dots and ghosts. Donkey Kong is just a game about fighting an evil gorilla who stole your sweetie. And Galaga is just about shooting shit. They're all pretty simple. But on October 20th, 1994, our gaming minds would be blown to smithereens with the release of Final Fantasy III for the Super Nintendo. Now, we had seen RPGs in America up to this point. There was the original Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior on the NES, and Secret of Mana on the Super Nintendo. But to me, those games just didn't thrill me like Final Fantasy III did. It begins with one of the greatest openings in video game history. As the three mech suits walk forward in the snow, with the opening theme playing, with the credits rolling, it truly leaves me shaken, like I'd just seen something just spectacular. It shows the main character Terra and two unimportant soldiers named Vixen Wedge tromping along in their mech suits in search of magicite, a rare, sought-after item that's used to make magic. Since magicite got out of hand before this game started, in the beginning of the game, it's no longer practiced like it once was. Basically, the whole game's plot revolves around the search for magicite and the search for the power to harness it and use it for the good of mankind. Unfortunately, the one who wants it the most turns out to be one of the most evil video game characters of all time. And that would be Kefka. Kefka is pure evil, even going as far as to poison an entire village, just for the fun of it. To dive into the plot could take hours, and I'd really have to replay the game in order to get every last detail correct. Let me just say that this is one game that is very rich with plot. Whether it's plot twists, bad endings, good endings, amazing moments, or extremely sad ones, this game certainly has one of the most fleshed out, detailed, and memorable plots of all time. Since the Nintendo 64 wouldn't come out until 1996, the Super Nintendo had some room to breathe and really develop some of the best-looking games, which eventually down the line would be Chrono Trigger and Earthbound. Final Fantasy III not only looks great now, but back in 1994, nothing could really touch this game in terms of graphics. Each little item was animated, and even the characters' faces were animated. Everything in this game seems to breathe and have its own pulse. The water looks amazing, the backgrounds are fantastic, the Mode 7 is just extraordinary. And the music is nothing short of legendary. The music in this game, and one other Final Fantasy game, is what I consider to be the Citizen Kane's of video game music. It's just truly spectacular. Let's look at a scene from this game. Here we have the character Celes, who's been forced to sing in an opera for a very long and drawn-out reason. The way the characters mesh with the backgrounds and the music is extraordinary, and this is my favorite part in this entire game. You don't see Secret of Mana doing this shit. This game truly set the standard for RPGs yet to come, in not only graphics, but music as well. I know I've said bad things about games before, but this is truly one game in which I cannot find anything bad. When I was writing this review, I had to pause and think about what I don't like about this game. For the life of me, I couldn't find anything that I myself do not like about Final Fantasy III. One thing I can say is that if you're not a fan of story-driven games, or games that you need to pump 40 or 50 hours into to get a full experience, then this game really isn't for you. A true 16-bit gem, this is Final Fantasy III for the Super Nintendo. Not only one of the greatest RPGs on the Super Nintendo, but one of the greatest RPGs of all time.